Guys, 1 minute. Someone is playing song in background. Let me ask him to stop. 1 minute. Huh? Okay, guys, I'm back now. Okay, so guys, any question on the east west and north south routing, including Pradeep, Pradeep and Vikas?
No.
No. Okay. Any plane management, control, and data plane?
No, sir.
Vikas?
No.
No. Okay, so guys, let's discuss about Vxlan now. Okay, in last meeting we discussed Vxlan in short, but now let's try to discuss more on Vxlan. Okay, so first thing is, what is Vxlan? So you can say this is extended version of VLAN, whereas VLAN limits himself to which number? Any idea, Pradeep?
409.
40?
96.
Okay,
94.
4094 or 96, right?
Yes.
So this limits our automation. Okay, so what happened, nowadays the requirement day by day is getting more and more, right? Instead of having 4,000 different networks, because 4,000 server networks we are not talking about. If we have transit interface, then we need a network. If we want to use any connector block, then we need network. If we have servers, then we need a VLAN. So like this, there's a more use of VLANs. If we are limiting our VLAN numbers to 4,000, then there is a problem. To solve that problem, what we did last time, I explained, we divided the environment into pods. What is pod? It's a separate environment, or it's a separate infrastructure where you will have a few servers, means servers, routers, switches, and different infrastructure, different layer of flow. Okay, so that network can be divided into pods, but you can't have a whole and sole network where you can use only VLANs, more VLANs. So let's talk about this. So what is Vxlan? Vxlan is not something similar to VLAN. How VLAN is working? Let's try to understand how VLAN flow is working. So if you see generally how VLAN flow is working, then obviously you will have servers, small servers or PCs. Let's discuss any end nodes. Okay, the end node will connect to any switch. The switch will connect to upper switch. Then it will also connect to the another layer of switch. If you have redundancy, then the redundancy will be there. Access layer, core layer, and all these layers. Okay. So let me go through layers. So your devices will connect here. Switch will then trunk to another switch. This switch will again trunk to someone. Okay, and then this switch will also connect here. This switch will also connect here. This switch will also connect here, and then this will also serve to another thing. So here chances are loop can form. Okay, this is how our environment is configured. So in order to avoid that loop, what we have to do, we have to shut the redundant links. Do you understand? We have to shut down the redundant links.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So let me have a clean picture of switches. So first we'll have the access switch. Okay. Then access switch connects to the distribution layer, and distribution layer connects to the core layer. Everyone agrees here?
Yes.
This switch connects here and again here. And if you want to form the port channel, then you will have such kind of port channel here. Okay, if this is Nexus. If you want to go above, then this will be the mechanism. And based on the root port and all these things, your ports will be in this state. Okay, if suppose this is the root bridge, then these ports will be in forwarded state. If suppose this is the root bridge, Then this will be a root, this will be a root. Okay, this will be in block state. Okay, this will be in a designated state, something like this. Then one will go in block state. Like this, what we are doing, you are losing your bandwidth. You are losing your redundancy is there, but only one redundancy. So how this network looks like? The network looks like this. However, you have redundant links, but your network looks like this. Correct? So this is the limitation of switching. Okay. So in order to avoid this, what we have now, we have something tunneling based mechanism which will give you, which will be given by Vxlan. So what Vxlan will do? Vxlan will provide you the tunnel transport over physical network. What is tunnel transport? Tunnel transport means, suppose you have big servers. We are having servers, right? Those are ESXi servers. Okay. In this ESXi server, you will have small virtual machines, and then these virtual machine will connect to a switch. And it's not obvious that all will connect to a single switch. They might connect to a different switch as well, the different port and all these things, right? This server will connect upstream to this switch. This server will connect upstream to this switch. This server may connect to any other switch. Okay, and these two servers will connect to each other. This is a simple technology. Only 1 minute. Okay, this is a simple topology what we have. So what we have server 1, server 1, ESX server, okay, ESX2 and ESX3. Now, okay, we have 3 ESX server. Inside of those servers, you will have more VMs. Okay, and what is your requirement now? This black VM wants to connect to this black VM. So Fazal, how will be the traffic flow will be? This will give to the local switch, virtual logical switch, okay, where the port group will be matched to that particular VLAN, correct? Virtual machine will be connected to a port group,
Right.
okay, and then this port group will give the traffic to this trunk, and then the traffic will go to physical switch. Here broadcast will happen, and then the broadcast will go to one port here, another port here, correct? Then the traffic will land on this second server. Obviously, we want to connect from A and B. The traffic will come here, and then the communication will happen. But one more traffic will go to another switch, and traffic will also reach to this VM where it will get discarded. Is this true?
Right.
Raju? This is how VLAN functions, right?
Yes.
Right.
But what happened if mistakenly or something happened if that VLAN is not allowed here, or the VLAN is not allowed inside of this trunk? What will happen? Your communication will establish?
Not happen.
No,
No,
right?
communication will
No.
not happen.
Because you need end-to-end VLAN flow, and you don't know how many switches you have to pass to reach the destination. Sometimes what happen, your switches, your server will be far away than the server 1. So I don't want to draw more, but your switch VLAN mechanism is point to point. From if it's allowed here, then it should be allowed here as well. If it's allowed here, then it should be allowed here as well. Okay. So this is how the VLAN flow happens. But now in Vxlan, how Vxlan is working? Let me let's have this environment as is. Only 1 minute, guys.
I think Sabir, you're talking on mute.
No, I'm not talking on mute. Give me only 1 minute. I have to share one OTP to someone. Only 1 minute. Okay, guys, I'm back. Sorry, I got one urgent call for OTP. So anyway, so this is how our VLAN flow is. Now let's talk about how our Vxlan flow will be. Okay, we'll take similar environment. We have 3 servers. Let's connect all to only 2 switches as of now. One switch and then second switch, and they both are connected with each other. Okay. Okay. They all are connected to same switch. Let's connect like this, followed by old topology. Okay. Now again you have one orange virtual machine here and another orange virtual machine is here. Okay. So this A virtual machine wants to communicate to B. That is the requirement. Obviously, our virtual machine will be connected to a local switch or whatever is standard or distributed switch, which will have a port group. What is port group? The port group will have the matching VLAN, whatever the orange VLAN is there. Same logical switch is here because it's in distributed in nature. If you are creating here, then it's again getting created here with same configuration. That is called as, that is the benefit of distributed switch. Okay, orange VLAN, orange switch, orange VMA, orange VMB. They wants to communicate to each other. Now instead of using the black VM mechanism, let's see what will be the approach of Vxlan. So what Vxlan will do, Vxlan will create another IP address called as step tunnel endpoint here. This is a trunk, right? Trunks are generally L2 in nature. Okay, trunks are L2 in nature. Guys, you will hear more background noise from my side because I am at native place and this is not in my control. Do you hear more noise or how it is?
That's fine. No problem, Sabir.
No problem, right? Because these 2 days I am traveling to
No
my
worries.
native, and from here it's not in your control.
I
Okay,
understand.
so let's go ahead now. Then now see how A will communicate to B. Okay, so A will approach to the switch. Okay, only 1 minute, guys. Okay, A will connect to a switch here, and then what it will do, it will go ahead and give the packet to the this step address. But who is going to tell that this packet should be encapsulated? So there will be a controller because we are using the software defined networking approach. So this controller will have information about both A and B. The controller will have follow one table that A is there in ESX1. Okay, ESX1. Let's follow the big table. VMA. There will be 3 tables, but I'm going to explain all 3 tables later on. So A is there on ESX1, and that IP address is 101, for example. So VMB will be there on ESX2, and IP will be 102. Okay. So this device will go ahead and query internally to this controller stating that I wants to communicate to B. So controller will tell that don't go here and there, directly go to ESX2. Okay. So there would be a tunnel IP on each ESXi, which will work as the IP address. Okay. The tunnel is having different IP address. Suppose your VLAN is in 10 series. So this tunnel will be there in 192 series, for example. Okay. Or altogether in different segment. So what will be the IP of these tunnels? Let's give the IP address. 192, 168, 1.101 and this will be 1.102, correct? So now your VMIP is suppose 10.0.0.10 and your BVMIP will be 10.0.0.20. Okay, so now let's see how the Vxlan approach is. Vxlan approach would be the traffic will go to the tunnel. Okay, this is called as a tape tunnel endpoint. This tunnel endpoint requires the MTU of 1700. 1600 is a default, but though we are using via NSXT, so it's using Geneva based Vxlan tunneling, so it requires the MTU size of 1700. Okay, so once you set this all switches MTU size more than 1700, then your environment is ready for software defined networking. So your virtual machine will approach to the tape address and then tape will request the information of BVM to the controller and then the traffic will move from here to there without any broadcast. Any question, guys? Any question, guys?
No, sir.
Yes, just wanted to understand about the controller. Will it be the virtual controller or any physical device?
Okay, so this controller will be the something a part of NSXT. So though I have not started NSXT yet, so that's the reason I'm referring it as a controller. Okay, once our NSXT syllabus starts, then I'll give more insight about the controller. Fine.
Okay.
For example, this will be a virtual machine only, but I have drawn here.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so for now, just understand is a controller. That's the reason we explain control plane, right? Data plane, control plane, and management plane.
Okay.
Okay, so control plane will be the manager. I'll explain later. So here, everywhere you have to set the MTU as 1700. Okay, once MTU is set,
1700, I'm sorry to disturb you again. 1700 is a prerequisite to set the NSXT or SGN network environment.
correct.
Okay.
1700 is a prerequisite. For NSX NV, it was 1600, but for T, it's 1700.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. One minute, guys. I'm setting my speaker to laptop. Is it fine now?
From my side, I'm good.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about this one, guys. So now the 10.0.0.10 wants to communicate to 20. So what it will do, it will go ahead and give the traffic to their switch, the logical switch or whatever NSX component will go ahead and approach through software. It will go ahead and approach to controller. Controller will give the AVM information. The B location is there on ESX2 102. Okay, then the B, this will directly, this step 101 will directly give the traffic from 101 to 102 like this. Automatically traffic will be destined no matter if you have 10 parallel servers. Generally what happened in our past, if you have 3 parallel servers, then traffic will approach all 3 servers. For example, if you have 5 to 6 parallel servers, then obviously traffic will approach to all the devices. True or not?
True.
Right? But in software defined networking world, this is limited because A and B information is known. Here 1 and B information was not known because it was relied under the broadcast. Now A and B will approach to each other smoothly, and this is called as east-west routing. Okay, and what here, in order to communicate between two IPs, do we need more VLANs or one VLAN is enough? Mubin, in order to communicate within one segment 101 and 102, how many VLANs you need?
Mm, because it is routing or
So
port based
no, it's
IP.
switching, right? It's having
It's switching
one
only.
VLAN is enough.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, so we'll use VLAN
Sir,
inside
can
here.
you, sorry for disturbing, can you explain me if we are sitting at the switch point, so how switch will learn the packet and forward it to the another board?
Switch don't know anything about A and B. Switch only knows about 101 and 102. And switch is assuming the traffic as a jumbo packet. Switch will not decapsulate anything. Switch only knows that there is a someone who wants to communicate from 101 and 102. There will be
Like
three type of
IP address,
tables.
right?
Yeah, there will be three type of table. First one will be uh, it will build three tables. First will be ARP table. Hey guys, I'm back. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes. Yes.
My screen is visible.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So guys, there would be three tables. First one will be the ARP table. Okay. And second, where the IP address mapping will be there. What is your 10.0.0.10 MAC address will be AA, 10.0.0.20 MAC address will be BB. Okay, this is called ARP table. Another one will be a tape table. Okay, another will be tape table. So what tape table will be do? Tape table will have the information about your tape addresses. So what is your tape address? 192.168.1.101 ESX. Only single table will single IP address will cover the whole ESX side. 101, and it will have address of something CC, and another one will be 192.168.1.102 address will be DD. Correct? Yeah, and third one will be there 192.168.1.103 EE. Okay. So now how the traffic pattern would be. First one is ARP table, second is the tape table, third one will be MAC table. And this information will be there on your controller. So what is the MAC table? That AA is connected on ESX1, true. BB is on, I'll give BB is connected on ESX2. CC is on, where is CC? CC is this one, right? 101. ESX1, and DD is there on ESX2. Okay. So now let's try to understand this once again. It's not really super easy to understand in one quick go. I'll take multiple scenarios. Okay. So now A wants to communicate to B. A will go ahead and query to our controller. Controller C, okay, you are A, you wants to go to B. Then what you will do? It will go ahead and check the ARP table. ARP table is there on BB. It will go ahead and then check where is the 20 is located. Tape table will say that it's there with me. So where it's there on D. Okay. and then it will say what is the MAC address of D, this one. So this is how the cycle will complete and traffic will descend from one to another. Now let's take example of the add another VM. Let's add a green VM here. So green VM is having a totally different IP address. For example, suppose green VM is having 1.10, okay, and green VM, there is one more green VM here which will also have 1.20. Now let's see how the traffic will happen. Okay, again the 1.10 will communicate to their respective port group VLAN. Okay, so this will not be a VLAN, this will be a Vxlan. Now in order to communicate from one Vxlan to another Vxlan, we are using tape address. So this Vxlan will go ahead and ask the local tape address that I want to go to the his green VM1 and green VM2. Green VM1 wants to communicate to green VM2. Traffic will simply come here, and then it will go ahead and request the same thing here. Still now we are using our old VLAN only. VLAN 100 we are using. Traffic is encapsulated. Green VMs, one VM's traffic will get encapsulated and handed over to the destination 102, and then it's given it to 2. Is it clear? Any question, guys?
Yes, sir. Just I am bit
Yes, Sabir. Actually, for each and every communication, will that particular source will check those tables, or is
Correct.
it for one-time communication?
It's one-time communication only, and also each time they are not going to their controller. They are going to receive, get on all information in bulk, and they are saving in their cache. And every time they are going to update it. Okay, but just for understanding purpose, every time I am going to controller. Fine.
Okay, that means let's suppose first time I want to communicate with source A to source B. So
Mhm.
in that time, it will query to controller, and once it
Right.
receives information, then that particular VM stores those information in its own cache.
Yeah. So there
Right.
are two types of protocol. One is local protocol and one is control protocol, central protocol.
Mhm.
Okay. So central protocol will give the information to local protocol, and next time it will communicate to that local protocol only, which save the information within that server. So once we start our NSXT, that time those protocol will be introduced. Okay. So I'm saying I'm explaining you the basic idea of Vxlan. Okay, so in basic idea, earlier point to point our VLAN was there. If somewhere the pruning happens, then the communication will break. But now here there is no concept of VLAN. Here they have VXLAN, and this is called as overlay network. Whatever is there in below, this is called as overlay network, and what is there above, this is called as underlay network. Fine. Overlay network is pure L3. Underlay network is pure L2. So whenever in your ACI, if you are using here, then obviously it's there in L2. That is not allowed to open any packet. Okay. So let's go ahead and understand. So this step address. Okay. And the first thing is, if you want to create 100 segments, so within a minute you will create it. You don't need to reserve the VLAN, because now we are using VXLAN. And if you see the VXLAN allows layer 2 network to span layer 3 devices. And it's using frames VNIs to provide segmentation. Like VLANs, we have VLAN numbers. So in VXLAN, we have VNI numbers. So those VNI numbers starts from 1 to 16 lakh. Okay, more than 16 lakh. So earlier our limit was 1 to 4,000. Now it's 1 to 16 lakh. Is that enough? Is that enough, guys? 16 lakh? But VMware, just to avoid any confusion between VLAN number and VXLAN number, they are suggesting you to start with 5,000. Okay, so whatever your VXLAN number starts, that you can start with 5,000. It's in your hand. So generally, what happened in your previous or in legacy environment, we used to reserve the VLAN. Correct or not? If you have any requirement, if you want to form the server one, then you'll go for server with one VLAN or no. You'll reserve the VLAN number or no? Salahuddin?
Yeah, earlier days we used to reserve VLANs for those servers.
But now, leave this job to software defined networking. Simply you say that you want this segment 10.0/24. You simply give that information, that gateway information, that 10.0.0.1/24. Automatically it will go ahead and reserve one Vxlan VNI number from the pool. You don't have to look after.
Okay.
Okay, similar to this, if you need 100 segments, go ahead. But in our VLAN world, if we need one or two segments, then we have to go and look up the table, VLAN table. And also we need to manage the database as well. If today I'm doing any change, so 5 days before I have to reserve my VLAN. If anybody has taken, then that is gone. True? Okay, so let's see, understand in this environment. So the Vxlan number starts with 5,000. Actually, the number should be 1 to 16 lakh, but we are starting with 5,000, and this is pool based allocation. Okay, so what is pool based allocation? I'll explain you later. So tape to tape communication will be there through VLAN. Okay, and this VM to VM communication will be through Vxlan. Okay, so there will be a logical switch created that is having number of 5,000. They will talk to each other, but when they want to communicate to each other, then they will use the tape address, and the tape address will give the information to Cisco switch. Cisco switch will assume that it's a jumbo packet. Okay, and he don't care about which kind of packet it is, and then it will head to the destination. Fine. Okay, let me explain one more time. No issue. So only 1 minute, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back now. So, guys, you will assume you'll see more breaks now here. Okay. Anyway, I'm back now. So, what is VXLAN? VXLAN is using VTEP and VNI. What is VNI? VNI is nothing but a number. You can see it here, 5,000. And VTEP is nothing but a virtual this tape address tunnel endpoint. Okay, which will be there with each hypervisor. And what is hypervisor? It's nothing but which your server, on top of it there is a one operating system installed called as ESXi. So each ESXi will have one tape address, and each ESXi can have hundreds of VXLAN numbers. All hundreds of VXLAN number will get encapsulated with tape when they want to communicate between two devices, two hosts, or more than that. Okay, so how they are doing this? They are using this VM kernel address. This tape address is nothing but a VM kernel address. So let's try to understand what is VM kernel address first. Okay, so guys, everyone is using L2 switch. Mubin?
Yes.
Okay, so to L2 switch, pure L2 switch, understand the IP address or no?
No, sir. We need
So how is
L3 switch.
possible that we can give IP address?
Uh, by enabling SAI. By enab-
Anyone?
we need to bring the L3 switch.
No. How? See, to L2 switch, are you giving IP address?
Yes, on the VLAN.
Yes.
So how that is possible?
On
How it's
VLAN.
possible?
By creating a CA.
But this is the L2 switch.
On the
Salahuddin?
sir, on the VLAN we can give a IP address.
Yeah, but we are saying na that switch will not understand IP address. Then why we are giving IP address? See, the question is the switch will not do the routing, but switch will understand the IP address for himself. If you give SVI, any SVI 10.10, the switch will use it for identification purpose, not routing purpose.
So here it's only for switch identification. Means we can use this IP to resolve the switch DNS name, just
Yeah,
like
no,
we did.
no, to connect the an SSS to the switch,
Yeah, that's it.
right?
To access the management plane only.
Yeah, correct. To access the management plane only. The switch is not supposed to do routing between 10 VLAN and 20 VLAN,
No.
right? So suppose you have L2 switch, similar, that is something a VM kernel address in VMware world. Suppose I am having 3 ESXi. Obviously, in order to manage this ESXi, do you need IP address or not?
Yes, we need an IP address.
So that IP address is nothing but a VM kernel address. Okay, whenever you design, so that VM kernel address is L3 address that is not used for any other thing than management. Okay, you'll have a trunk port. Okay, and similar to this, you'll also have one switch here. The switch will have something, a small port group, which will have management VLAN number 100. Okay, and similar thing you will see everywhere. This is VLAN mapping only. And the same VLAN will also have here, true or not.
Yes.
Okay, so everyone is connecting to this one, and then they will connect to this 100. He will connect to this 100. He will connect to this 100. Do you think all they will communicate to each other? So one will give IP address as, for example, I'll use as 201. Okay, 192.168.10 dot. Okay, we'll give it some a different position. This host got address of 201. This host got address of uh, 202, and this ESX host got address as 203. So do you think, guys, these three devices will talk to management address of switch or not?
Yes, sir.
Obviously. Okay, so now let's try to understand the tape mechanism. For tape address you should have different VLAN. So for example, let's me take VLAN 200. Okay, I'll create one VLAN 200 here, where on my switch I'll also go ahead and create one port group. What is port group? Any idea, Pradeep? Pradeep or
The
Raju? What is port group?
Port group, port group like VLANs in same subnet.
Okay. So port group is something you have switch and then you have the VLAN number 200. Okay. So now suppose we have decided to use 200 VLAN for our tape communication, for Vxlan communication, because below this we are going to create the Vxlan, our logical switches. How logical switches are going to communicate with each other? Using the tape address. So this will be the tape address 200. So 200 is a VLAN. Let's give one IP address to them. What will be the IP address? Suppose let's use tape address as 192.168 uh, 20.101. Fine. This switch will get another address. Is it possible to have multiple addresses, guys, to your any boxes?
Sabir, sorry for disturbation. Can you please repeat your last two sentences? I lost your voice due
Okay,
to internet
okay,
issues.
not an issue. So see, everyone understood how the management connectivity is, how the black VMs are communicate. VLAN 100 they are communicating. This switch got her 10. This switch got this host got 201, 202, and 203. So everyone is clear with management connectivity.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So now discuss about PEP addresses. So on the same host, on the same switch, I have to create a VLAN 200. Do I need to create a gateway as well here? It's L2 switch, not required.
No, 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 not required.
Okay. So here I'll create a port group. Here also I'll create a port group and tag with VLAN 200. Here also I'll create a port group and tag with VLAN 200. Fine. Why we are doing this so? And we are also allocating IP address 20.101 to this 200, 20.102 and 20.103.
Sir, sorry
Okay.
for disturbing. I think we need gateway for query resolution. I think
No,
gateway.
here it's not required because I'm using pure L2. I don't need gateway, right? Because these servers 200 is not going outside. So leave that gateway apart. We don't need it right now because we need communication among these hosts. We are not going to internet.
Okay.
Correct?
Because all these hosts have the same VLAN and
Yeah.
using the same port group, like for the communication, the subnet of the IP address or the range of the like same.
Yeah. True. So guys, now tell me these orange IPs will communicate with each other or not?
Yes, they will communicate.
They will communicate, right? No issue.
No issue.
Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead and create our logical switch. That will be different than this one. Obviously, on this switch only, this is the distributed switch. Under distributed switch only, I am going to create a logical switch. Instead of using VLAN tagging, I am going to use Vxlan tagging. Suppose my green port group, which will looks like a port group, but this is Vxlan supported and it will have the VLAN ID of 5000. Okay, guys. So once you create here, then obviously it will go ahead and create on all devices. Okay. Okay. So this will also have 500. Sorry, 5000. And here also we'll have something. See, whenever you are creating one time, then obviously it's getting created multiple time. Correct. That is the feature of VXLAN, distributed port group, distributed switching. Whenever you are creating one port group here, it's getting created 3 times. So in background, this is port group, but in front end, this is called as logical switch. And this is having VNI number 5000. So this behavior and this behavior is totally different. Okay. So how it's different? Whenever 5000 wants to communicate, suppose this 5000 is having one virtual machine, this 5000 is having one virtual machine connect. If this 5000 A wants to communicate to B, I'm repeating the same thing. The A will go ahead and give the traffic to 200 that I want to go outside. Then it will check the table, it's there on 102. Traffic will go ahead and use the VLAN 200. Simply it will switch from this port to this port and the communication is done. If you have 100 ESX, you will not visit to remaining. You'll only have communication between these two. There will be no extra traffic forwarded to this third port. Why? Because this is known traffic. Okay, guys. Yeah. So let's talk more about this one now. Suppose you are having suppose you are having another let's try to understand in this way now. Okay, so let's take example of VM1 and VM2. VM1 is having 192 series IP VM1, and destination is having 192 1.11. Okay, they want to communicate with each other. VM1 is having MAC1 IP address 10, VM2 is having MAC2 IP address 11. So what they will do, they will approach to their VNI, that is 5001. Then VNI will give the traffic to TAP. Okay, and then it's TAP responsibility to destinate the traffic from one TAP to the destination TAP. Okay, no matter how many other ESX boxes are there in middle connected to this physical switch, but they will only talk to each other, 10 and 11. They will encapsulate all the VM's traffic into TAP, and then they will take it here, and then they will decapsulate and give it to VM2. Okay, the traffic once comes here, then the source will be this TAP address and destination will be this TAP address. Generally, in our legacy environment, source and destination IP address never change. True or not true?
Yes. Sorry for disturbing, sir. Vikas, can you put your mic as on mute?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Guys, in your general environment, legacy environment, source and destination IPs will never get changed. But here in this environment, source and destination IP address will get encapsulated into TAP, where TAP source and destination IP address will be considered while traveling from one device to another device. Okay, see, now the source is 10, destination is 11, traffic is destined here. Once it's destined, then the traffic will given to this VNI 5001. The VNI field is used for the to drop the frame at correct logical switch. Okay, and this is the VTAP address. So generally you will have your IP address and your MAC address, then the Vxlan number, then you will have additional TAP IP address and TAP MAC address, and then your information. This is how the encapsulation and decapsulation happen. That's the reason in software defined networking you don't need a spanning tree, because you don't need to block any interface. It's not L2, it's purely L3. Okay, even if you have in different segment, don't go into this one. Okay, so what they need in order to communicate, they need these ports, okay, to be open in between. If you are using multiple segments like this, suppose this you have this pod, you have this rack and that rack. So suppose this rack is using 10 series and this is using 20 series, so there must be these ports must be open in order to communicate between them. But generally nobody will use two different segments. Okay, everyone will bring in one segment. If you have slash 24, your hundreds of ESXi will be there. But believe me, in data center environment, you will not have more than 10 or 20. These are the theoretical numbers only, where we'll have 100 hosts and 200 hosts. Right, Vikas? And Pradeep, you guys are from compute, right?
Right.
Yeah. So in practical world, no one will follow that. Okay, come back here, guys, now. So for example, suppose now I help you to understand with one logical switch. Suppose we have two logical switches, then how the traffic flow will be. Okay, so let's go back to our environment. Suppose you are having one more now. Okay, so now green, now let's go for blue. So you also, I don't have here place, so I'll draw it here. Suppose you have the third port group, third logical switch, which came up with the Vxlan number. Automatically it will get, that will be 5001. Okay, and assume that this is there on all devices, all three. Automatically it will get created on all three. Okay, so one VM is created here, and this VM will go ahead and connect to this switch. Okay, this VM. See, sorry guys, I'm drawing it outside because I don't have place. Don't consider it as outside. It is inside only. This VM is connecting here. So now, if you have now seen how the VMs within the same Vxlan will communicate with each other using different boxes. Now understand how the VNIs between means 5001 and 5000 will communicate with each other. Suppose this is A and this is B. How they will communicate to each other? What was the old pattern before? Let's go to understand the old pattern with VLAN. If VLAN A wants to communicate, if black VM wants to communicate to orange VM. So how was the pattern? Obviously, you should have the router and your switches must be uplinked to this router. Correct? So what will happen? The A traffic, black traffic will go to their gateway because they want to connect to orange, which is there on different segment, and then the routing will happen, and then traffic will come back, and then it will communicate. Understood? Salahuddin, do you have any question here?
No, Sabir.
Okay, so now black VM, which is there in 10 segment 10.0, and red VM, orange VM, which is there in 20 segment. In VLAN world, if they want to communicate to each other, then they will go ahead and hit to their gateway, and then they will communicate. But in VXLAN, this is not the case. If the blue one wants to communicate to green one, blue one is there in 10 series, and green one is there in 20. Okay, if they want to communicate to each other, then we have a concept of distributed routing. Okay, where the router itself is brought inside of your environment. Okay, this switch will connect to this router, this switch will connect to this router, and the routing will take place. The A and B will communicate with each other within the box without leaving the box. Any question, guys? So the router itself brought inside of host.
So
Yeah.
this job is performed by distributed router that you are
Correct.
saying.
What do you mean by distributed router? Distributed switch? Distributed switch means once it's created, the copy will be given to all cluster, whatever who is the group, it will be given to all. As of now, you see, as of now, if you see, we are in cluster. How many members we have? 5 to 6 members. We all are there in one group, right? Whatever I'm saying, it's getting applied to all you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, same thing. If you are creating a single switch here, then it's getting replicated to all the hosts which are there inside of that cluster. And this is called as cluster. So this is the compute terminology which will not understand quickly, but this is how it is. See, they are in cluster. What happened? See, they are in cluster. If you create a switch, logical switch here, it's created all where. If you create one router here, it's created everywhere. Okay. If this blue wants to communicate to this black, this green, then the communication will happen like this. If there is another one who wants to communicate with each other, then they will communicate like this. But how the communication will take place from this B to this green B? The blue B will go ahead and give the traffic to their gateway. This gateway says that the destination green B is located behind the 102 tape. So it will go ahead and encapsulate it with the tape tunnel, which is having the VLAN 200. The traffic will be given to 200 with jumbo packet. Starting from here, it should be 1700 MTU. Once it's land, that will be MTU packet, L2 packet, then the ingress port, egress port based on the MAC address table, and the traffic is destined to the 200, and then it will go ahead and give it to this 500. See, where routing takes place? Here. We don't need double routing. At once you have to visit the router, twice you don't have to. Simply your B will give the traffic to router, which is the DLR. Then the DLR will give it to tape, and the tape will carry from one tape to another tape, and this will be given it to the Vxlan 500. No need to hit to this route. Any question, guys? Okay. Okay, guys. Should we take 10 minutes break?
Okay, no problem, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's meet at 15, 10, 15.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
Fine.
Yes, sir. I am here.
Yeah, hi guys. How many are back?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Fazal, Pradeep.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yeah, Salahuddin, Raju.
Yes, sir, available.
Okay. Okay. So what we understood today, Vxlan. Okay, how Vxlan is working. And if the orange wants to communicate to blue, then the router will do the routing and then it will happen within the device. Do we need to leave the device? No, right? Salahuddin, are you back? How many are back? Please raise your hand. Okay, only I think Salahuddin is away. Anyway, we will continue. So if B blue means the VM wants to communicate to green, then how the traffic will come? It will go to the switch, then it will come to the logical router. Logical router will do the routing, and then it will be handed over to green segment, which will be 5000. Okay, so this is called as overlay, which is there in the box, and whatever is not there in box, this is called as underlay.
I'm sorry for
Okay,
asking. Can you
so
be repeated? Last
oh,
sentence.
okay, so there are two traffic patterns. One is overlay, which is pure L3. One is underlay, which is pure L2. So whatever you are seeing this in colored format, the VNIs, this step address, these switches, these VMs, this is called as overlay network environment. Generally, when you join software defined networking, you will hear this term lot. Okay, and this is the underlay who help you to switch the traffic from one device to another device. This is called as underlay. Fine. And these are called as whatever we are building behind with the base of Vxlan. These are called logical switches. You heard about the standard switch, distributed switch. Now this is called as logical switch, which is on top of switch only, but it's a logical switch. Okay. Okay, guys. So any question in our overlay, underlay, and logical?
Sir, underlay means it is unmanaged traffic, right?
Underlay means
Like it is L2, it is unmanaged network, tunnel or what type of tunnel?
your voice is not clear for me, guys. Anyone can help me to understand the question?
Hello,
Yeah, Pradeep.
I'm audible, sir.
Yeah, you're audible now.
Yeah, I'm asking about the underlay traffic. Is it unmanaged traffic or what type of
This
traffic?
is purely L2 traffic. L2 traffic means jumbo packet 1700, and this switch from one device to another, nothing else. No matter if you are using ACI, you are using Nexus.
That means that says underlay traffic, right?
Yeah, underlay traffic. So now let's do one thing. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's go ahead and squeeze our environment. Okay. Now, suppose you are using the Cisco ACI fabric here. 2 spines, 3 leaves. Okay. And let's go ahead and delete this one. Okay. And let's connect your server to leaf switches. Okay. Okay. So this is called as ACI fabric. Okay. This ACI fabric is being managed by one of the device or VM or hardware that is called as EPIC. And this EPIC is connected somewhere here. This EPIC will have all information, who is connected where. This EPIC will make the decisions. Okay. And whenever your switches are connecting here, then they are connecting under a EPG, because this is something, the policy driven topology. This is not your normal switch fabric where our switches are connected with each other and these are the trunk ports. It's not like that. These are the tunnel ports. They are in L3 in nature. Okay, they are running ISIS protocol in order to lift the traffic from one and shift the traffic to another interface. Any question, guys?
I just missed last 5 minutes. I joined 10:20. Sorry for that.
Okay. So nothing. I was just explaining the underlay and overlay difference. So
Okay.
whenever you are using NSX, then you are using switching, you are using routing, load balancing, firewalling. All is happening logically over the ESXi. So that environment is called as overlay.
Right.
And directly you can't have whole environment in one box. That's the reason you'll have multiple box, and all these multiple box will have to connect to a switch, and that switch is, that environment is called as underlay. Got the difference between overlay and underlay?
It should be ACI Fabric or Legacy Nexus family for
Yeah,
underlay.
see, your packet is will not get opened by ACI. Why your packet ACI will open? If your blue VM is connecting to green, then it's your ACI responsibility is only jumbo packet. It will take like this, and then this. ACI using VLAN 100. Correct? Do you think
Yeah,
your ACI will open packet?
No.
So ACI is there in underlay. It's only L2. So just I'm trying to help you guys here that whenever you are using ACI, that time it's an underlay. So again, remember, I'm only talking about east-west traffic. Whenever it comes for north-south traffic, whenever you want to go to internet or any MPLS outside environment, that time this MPLS is connected to this L3 out interface. Okay. So whenever you want to go outside, that time ACI will act as a L3. You'll have BGP between the NSX and NSX component and this ACI. Only for north-south traffic. For east-west traffic, you are using ACI as a layer 2. So this is really what you call good concept which I am explaining today, that is Vxlan. So this is how the major difference between your legacy and software-defined networking. Any question, guys? Feel free to ask. I'm not in rush to go ahead and do something. Okay? Explain more. Okay, so if you guys are clear with Vxlan overlay underlay part, I want to go for practical. Should I move for Vcenter installation?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm moving for Vcenter
Yes, sir.
installation now. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is our lab. Everyone will get lab access. How to access the lab, I will explain to our new joiner later on. Okay, might be you have seen Vikas in recording, right? Simply you have to take RDP and you have to
Right,
access your lab.
right.
Okay, so now let me go ahead and access my lab. This is my master Vcenter, and you are not supposed to directly access this device until and unless it's needed. For you, I have allocated the lab, and you have to go through that. So first, let me. I do have two RDPs, so don't worry. This is for my internal use. So this is my master Vcenter. Okay, so here if you see, we have labs. So for old class, these labs are there. I'm not going to use that lab. Okay, so for you guys, I have created labs 23 onwards, 23, 24, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So let me take 29 for myself. Is that fine?
Yes.
29, right? Okay, so now what I have to do, I need ESXi. What is ESXi, guys? Server which I'm going to install. So let me go ahead and install it. So I'll run one script, so we'll get more servers here. Okay, I'm shifting between two devices. One is having my all scripts and all. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to deploy two ESXi heading towards my vCenter using this username and password. So for which 29 lab I will take for myself, lab number 29. Okay, so where I want to create it, I will go ahead and create it on 106 ESX. Okay, so let's go ahead and take the lab 106 data store number. So what is lab 106 data store number? So I'll go to 106 host and I'll take the data center. Let's take Samsung. This is the SSD. I'll put it in my script. So what my script will do, my script will go ahead and install it here. Mistakenly, I forgot to boot the ES, this template. Okay.
Is this
So by mistake,
PowerShell or Terraform?
this is PowerShell.
Okay.
Okay, guys, only 1 minute. The wherever I have stored my template, okay, it's there on 101. Okay, I think template is available. Oh, ESXi template. It's there on 107 and the device is in down state. Okay, let me go ahead and let's not go into this way. To whom I have not given any lab to anyone. Let me boot up that ESXi. Okay, only 1 minute, guys. I'll go on mute and then I'll boot that lab and come back. Not lab, that ESXi. Okay.
Okay.
If any question, feel free to raise. Someone will answer. So today that guy has not joined because he is traveling. Okay. Okay, guys. So I asked for boot. Let's see. Okay, so let's try to understand the Google Sheet. Let's try to understand the lab. Okay, so this link is given for everybody, right? Everyone is having this link. So lab 23 is given to Mubin, then Salahuddin, then Raju, Pradeep, Shabib, Priyanka, Imran, Pathan. Okay. So Vikas, you have submitted the form, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So I'll give you Vikas Singh. Okay. So your password will be VMware1 and you will be having lab number 30. Fine. Okay. These names I'll
Yes,
give
fine.
later. So Vikas, you have to RDP to this IP address. Your username I will create. Okay.
Okay.
So if you go to lab number, your lab number is 30, right? So I'll
Okay.
create one tab for you, like simply I have to duplicate it. Okay.
Mhm.
And wherever 29 is there, I have to replace with 30.
Okay.
29 will be replaced to with 30. Find and replace. Okay. So your vCenter IP would be 30 and you have to deploy it by your own. Your ESXi, I'll deploy through VM, I'll deploy through script. That will be 30.101 and 102 you have to use. NSX manager will be 111 and if you have NV then that will be 120. Okay. For timing we don't have any NV. The segment will be /24. Okay. 30.1 will be your gateway. This is your DNS and this will be your VLAN. Okay. So let's now go ahead. Everyone's lab is created. A lab
No,
30.
for my lab is not.
So Fazal, you have to use your old lab, right? What was your lab number?
No, I I don't have any lab number
Okay, I'll
in
give
previous
you
database.
Fazal sake. Okay. So for Fazal sake, I'll give the lab number 31. Okay, that computer got booted, so it will take some time to boot. So let's go ahead and create the users for Vikas and Fazal, the AD user. I'll do it really quick. Vikas Singh, I'll go to my AD. You'll have access to AD everything, okay? So you'll feel like it as your own lab, but don't do anything wrong. So I'll face any challenge
No,
for.
no, no worry. No worry. I'll not.
Okay, I'm going to create a user. Vikas Singh will be username. Okay, Vikas.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, Vikas Singh already is there.
Yes, you
Okay,
created.
Vikas.
I believe that at the demo time.
Oh, is it? Yeah, right, right. Okay, so you are part of this group. Fazal. Fazal Sheikh is not created. Let me create it for Fazal. Yeah, at the time of demo time, I created. Remember. So Fazal Sheikh.
Sabir, while accessing this lab, I'm getting error. Connection was denied because user account is not authorized for remote login.
Okay, let me check. So I think actually what happened, you should be a part of this
Group.
August group,
Okay.
and this August group should be a member of administrator. Okay, it's happening like this. So if this is not a member of administrator, are you a part of this? Only Mubin and they are part of August. Rest all are part of. Okay, anyway, no problem. Salahuddin, do you see Salahuddin here? No.
No.
Yeah, Salahuddin, you can try it now. Okay. So guys, your usernames are created. Once you access your username, then you will be presented to this device. Okay. So this will be your the remote desktop. If you go to Task Manager, then you can see multiple users would be there. So whenever you guys are accessing lab, so I'll come to know because of this. So just Salahuddin has logged in. Okay. So this is your lab. Now the second thing is you have to make DNS entry by your own. I would have done it through the this one, but I have given it to you guys only. Scripting. Go to DNS, right click DNS manager. Okay, so you can go to your DNS forward lookup zone. So guys, if forward lookup zone and reverse lookup zone both must be there. So you have to make sure that you in your lookup zone you must be there. Your IP must be there. So how to add it? So let me go ahead and add it for Fazal. Fazal, what's your lab number?
31.
30, 31, right? So I'll go
Right.
ahead and create for 192, 168, 31.0. Only 31, sorry. So this is the reverse lookup zone for Fazal. In forward lookup, I'll go ahead and create a record. How the A record looks like, I'll go to lab number 31. That is not yet created. Let me create it in within a minute. Lab 31. Fazal, you have to access this. Okay. I'll go to this, the iPad. I'll replace the 30 with 31. Okay. Do the changes within sheet. You don't have to do. Once it's done, you don't have to repeat it. Okay. So Fazal, your lab 31 name, you have to do these host entries. Okay. First, you have to do your ESXi one. Your ESXi will be this one. Okay. And your IP will be 101. Okay. And also click on create associate PTR record. So your reverse DNS will be created for this one, reverse lookup for ESXi1. So add host. Now let's do for ESXi2. Okay. What will be the IP? The IP will be 102. Okay. Then let's go for your vCenter, that is 100. Okay. Let's not do other entries for now. Let's skip it till here only. So now we are going to create two ESXi and one vCenter. Okay. By your own. So this will be your vCenter and this we have done. Now let's move ahead and check if your entries are done or not. So I'll go to lab 31. I'll go ahead and try to ping this name. Let's go ahead and do ping name. Is it resolving? Correct, right? Then only your vCenter will work. Okay. So let me go ahead, guys, and check if my 107 got booted or not. I'll go to where is vCenter? My master vCenter. I closed it mistakenly, or it's here. It's here. Okay. So here, if you see, lab 29, 30, and all are not created. What should I use for my own?
31, I believe.
31. Okay, I'll do one thing. 31 I'll allocate for myself. Okay, for that I need to create folder. Okay, in order to keep your VMs in separate way. Otherwise, your VMs looks like this. Do you see your VMs? These are our old batch VMs. So they asked me not to delete it. Okay, first I'll do one create folders. So till where I created folder 29. So I'll create 30 folder VM template lab 30. Okay, then I'll create for 31. So I'll also create for 32. I'll take 32. Okay, 31 is already there. I'll create 32. I'll use 32 for myself. Okay, guys. So
Okay.
here, if you go for my own use, I'll use lab 31, 32. Okay. So same password, and I don't need any username, but this will be for management purpose. Okay, lab 32. So what I want this is available now. Let me check if my 107 got booted or not. Okay, so I do have concurrent 8 servers. So this is the 107 and it's in up state. Okay, and here there is a ESX template. What is template? I'll tell you later, not now. Okay, so there is one template which is a copy of virtual machine which I saved, and this is there on 107, and 107 server is up now. Let me go to my script. Here I want to deploy over 106 using this ESXi. My lab number is, what is my lab number?
32, sir.
Okay, 32. I have to check every time whether you guys are sleeping or not, right? So this is 32. Correct. So once I given this detail, simply I'll go ahead and execute this script. So what it will do, it will trigger two virtual machines, ESX virtual machine on my this device. Do you see it's happening? 34%. If you go ahead and see on Vcenter, you'll see some activities happening. Okay, so like this for everyone, for every lab is starting from 23 till 31. I'm going to trigger this one. Okay, yeah. Now same time we have to install. Last class only I explained you how to install the ESXi. But now let's go ahead and install the Vcenter. So what is Vcenter? Let's go ahead and check. Okay, so suppose this is your lab 31. How many hosts we are going to have? ESX1 and ESX2. I do have one physical switch, and then I do also have one DNS server here. Okay, so don't talk, let's not discuss about DNS server. So what I'm having ESX1, and also I'm having ESX2. Okay, so in order to manage these two guys, I need a device which will be my vCenter. Okay, so what we are doing first, we are doing the compute virtualization first. What is compute virtualization? To run the virtual machine over a hypervisor in order to save your memory and CPU. That's the reason we are opting this technology. So what your vCenter will do, your vCenter will go ahead and take control of these two devices. So how to install vCenter? First you have to download that. So already I have downloaded it. Where I downloaded, let's go ahead and see. This installation is going on. Let it be. So if you go to your jump box, go to my computer C drive, and here you can see clouds networking softwares. Okay, so here you can go to vCenter. ESXi I myself is installing, and you have to install the vCenter. Any question till here? Okay. Before installing the vCenter, you should have to complete the DNS entries. Otherwise, installation will fail. This is the ISO file of vCenter. Nowadays, in Windows, you don't have to unzip it. It's default feature, so you can simply open it. Once you open, then go to your VSA UI, then Mac Win32 if you are using Windows. Means through Windows I am going to do the installer, right? I'm going to installer because I'm using Windows environment. So my installer would be Windows installer. If you are having Mac device or Linux, then you have to use these installers. Okay. So in my case, I'm using Windows installer. So I'll go ahead and click on install. So what I'm installing, guys, I'm installing vCenter. Okay, and in parallel my ESXi installation is going on, which later I'll go ahead and configure in front of you. Same I did it in last lab as well.
So,
Okay,
Sabir, here we are using vCenter to manage ESXi host, at a time, and also to do management of those VMs which currently present on those ESXi.
Yeah, correct. You are going to have your own VMs, lab VMs. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So here, what you are learning how to install ESXi. You are learning how to install vCenter. You are also learning how to create VMs and templates, and how to create the logical switch. If you know these things, then when you are doing troubleshooting or when you are deploying your LS60 environment, then you'll have more idea. Correct? Okay. Let's come back to the installation. I'll click on install. There are two stages to install the vCenter. vCenter sits in management plane, which will manage the ESXi. There will be no traffic passing through the vCenters. Stage 1 and stage 2. Make sure that your DNS entries are there. Okay. Accept and give your ESXi IP address. What will be your ESXi IP address? Use 106 or 107. These are the heavy machines. Okay, 1.106 or 107. So if you see my master lab, then you'll have in 101, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 format. So 106, 7, 8, these are the heavy machines. So always use 106 and 107 at initial deployment. I'll do the load balance later. Okay. So I'm going to install on there. The username is root and the password is 2-time VMware. Okay, so nothing is hidden. You can go ahead and do it by your own. So now it's saying okay, thumbprint, accept it. I'm logging into ESXi, the 7th server. I'm sitting on my one of the logical machine here and I'm doing installation here. Okay, so what it says, cannot complete login due to incorrect username. So sometime guys, what happen, VMware one, sometime give it one time only. Okay, then it will work. So what happened, some machines are having 1 and 2, so I can't connect the physical device and then change the password. That's the reason I did it. Okay, so what will be your server name, vCenter server name? Who will tell me? Who can tell?
The same name like Lab 31 vCenter,
How you will get that name?
through that Excel sheet which you
Okay,
shared.
through that Excel sheet, right? Go to your Excel sheet, follow your lab number, and then pick up your vCenter name. Okay, and don't please do any changes because DNS entry and all dependent things are there. Okay, so I'll come here, I'll give it. This will be my VM name. Second thing, what will be your username? So password, give it two
Your
time VM
lab,
name.
your lab number is 32, no? So vCenter name lab 32, no?
Oh, my vCenter name 32.
Yes, sir, correct.
Oh, okay. My VM, this is 32. So I have created this one or no? Not yet. In DNS for lab 32, I have not created it yet, right? So let me go ahead and create it quickly. Yes, lab 32. So thanks for highlight. I created it for you. 192, 168, 32.101. Okay, so if I click on reverse PTR, then it will throw error. Why? Because 32 is not here. Correct? I'll cancel it. First, I have to create the reverse lookup zone. Easy method, guys. I would have done automated it, but I kept this for you guys only.
Yes.
192, 168, 32. Okay, next, finish. I'll go back to forward lookup zone, create for 32. Okay, let's give the name. This will not take much time. Okay, go to vCenter. And oh, sorry, it's ESXi, right? ESXi1, correct name, add host. Reverse PTR is also created. Let's go for another one. 2. What will be the IP? 102. Okay. Then now I need a vCenter name, which will be 100. How the name looks like? This. Only do the 3 entries initially, later we'll check. Add host. So I'm done with my entries. I'll come back to my installer. So here I'll give the my lab number as a 32. Username is root and the password is 2 time VMware. I'll click next. And there are deployment sizes. What do you mean by deployment sizes? So if you have this vCenter comes in size, okay. If you have hundreds of ESXi, then your size will be good. Okay. So here it will say you that if you are using lab environment with 10 hosts and you are going to create up to 100 VMs, then use 2 CPUs and 12 GB of memory. Okay. If you are having 1000 VMs, then go for small. If you are going have 4000, then go for medium, large and X large. Okay. So though we are in lab environment, I'll go for tiny. Storage size, I'm going to keep it default. Okay. Next. Then now here it's asking where you want to install it. Though I have logged into 107, then it will present me all these things. So obviously guys, always use local. So I have two types of hard disks. One is installed locally on the vCenter and another is there for LUN. This is only for lab VN purpose only. So wherever LUN is coming, don't use it for vCenter. Okay. I'll go to local. I want to use local NVMe. Okay. Make sure that you have the good amount and always use thin mode. What is thin mode and thick mode? So your thin mode will take less, will not write up your whole, will not cover your all hard disk. It will cover and write only when it's required. And if you are using thick mode, then it will accommodate whatever value you have, 100 GB, it will accommodate all. If with thick mode you created only one VM, it will acquire 100, it will reserve the 100 GB. So always go for thin mode, it will be lightweight. Go for next. Here you will have your management network 30, 32. Okay. So in my last lab, I do have till 26. 32 is not yet there. Let me go ahead and create in front of you guys. Okay. So this is my lab and this is my logical switch. Okay. And I'll go ahead and create the 27, 28, and I'll also do the tagging. Okay. So this is how the computer guys used to do it. They will create the port group. This is nothing but a kind of group. So I'll use 27. Okay. Obviously, there are two types of bindings. One is static and one is ephemeral. Ephemeral means for static, it will be fixed with 8 ports. Only maximum 8 VMs you can connect to the switch port. If you go for ephemeral, then n number of VMs you can go ahead and connect it. So if you want to make it trunk or VLAN based, then you can go ahead and decide it here. So I'm using 27, right? So give the VLAN tagging 27. Finish. Let's go for 28. So instead of going one by one, directly I will jump to my lab, that is 32. Okay. Next, go for ephemeral and use the VLAN 32. Next, finish. Once this 32 is available, it's not available. Okay, so there is a problem with the switch. First, I have to rectify that problem. What happened, sometime I shut down this one, sometime I don't shut down that one, then it's creating problem. So I have to rectify it. So 107 and 106.8 is not responding. So I'll say, okay, no problem. It will go ahead and synchronize this information. So don't go into that deep. First, initial thread, later we'll see. So I should not explain you guys this for now. Okay, here if you go ahead and refresh, then you'll see your 31 and 32 again. I'll come back and move forward. Then I might see 32. Do you see 32 now? Okay. So I'm going to use IPv4, that will be static. FQDN, I'm going to assign it here where it is. What will be the FQDN? This will be your FQDN, right? Lab 32 vCenter. This will be your FQDN. What will be your IP address? Your IP address will be 100. Don't use any other IP address. What will be your subnet mask? /24. Gateway 32.1. Gateway I have not created. I'll create in front of you shortly. Always use your DNS address as 1.51. Sorry, not 1.51. What is the DNS
One
address?
1.11.
Oh, 1.11, guys. Yeah. So Salahuddin is very proactive here. So this is what you can fill in. Your network will be your lab number, management your lab number. Here you have to give that Excel information, your IP address, gateway, and DNS. And this gateway is not yet created. I'll go ahead and create it shortly. Next, and always guys, please make sure that you're using thin mode. So I'm deploying it as a virtual machine on one of my physical server. Okay, I'll finish it. So installation says as a started, it will take more than 30 minutes. Okay, I'll come back to my ESXi installation. Okay, let's see, ESXi is completed. Do you see 31 and 32 is created? I'll go back to my folder. You can see 31 and 32 is there. Do you see? So this got created with scripting. If I want to create more, then what I will do? I'll do it for someone else. I'll do it for 31. Okay. So let's go ahead and do it for 31 meantime. Okay. So what I have to do changes. I'll simply make it 31 and here I'll make it 31. Okay. So for Fuzzle, the VM will be created. Next. Okay. So let it be going on. Now I also have one switch, L3 switch. So how my lab looks like, I told you initially, I do have one L3 switch. There I have to create your gateway. Okay. If I go with incomplete information, then it will create problem. So I'll not give login access to this switch because this is a core switch. Even I also forgot login information. Any idea, guys? See, your VLANs are created like this. So if I had to log in, let me try different passwords. See, that works. So what I have to do? I have to use lab 25 6 7 8 29. Okay. So generally I will do it like this. This will be 30. Okay, guys, then 31, 32, 33. Fine. I'll go ahead and paste this information here. Okay. So I have created my VLAN. Now it's time for SVI. Okay, I'll go ahead and create the SVI as well. So I need it for, let's go for 30, 30. No shut, exit. Okay, then 31. See, always I have to make sure that the gateways are available. Okay, then 32, and then 33. Okay, guys, this configuration looks great. I'll go ahead and apply it. If any other SVI is missing, I'll go ahead and give it later, not now. Okay, so my gateway is already created. Even Fazal's lab is also going on. Let's move back to our lab jump box. You can see here that is going on. Okay, so let also have the look at your vCenter stage 1. So this is your vCenter stage 1. It's deploying something. So where it's deploying, you can see it's there under discover folder. So mistakenly I have not selected my correct folder, so it's landed into the discover folder. So you can go ahead and move it. How to move it? You have to drag and drop. How to drag and drop? Simply drag this and drop it in that folder. Okay, so you'll have your own idea of your own VMs. Okay, so this is there in 32. So there is one management vCenter to which I am currently logged in. It should be there in master. Okay, in management. So guys, one more thing I want to show you. I do have one unused virtual machine. Okay, so how to delete it? You can delete it as an inventory, remove it from inventory, so it will be there on hard disk. Okay, or you can directly remove it from disk, so it will be completely deleted. Okay, I'll go ahead and delete from hard disk. If you delete any your object from hard disk, then that will be completely deleted. Yes. So in middle, why I'm showing this is actually our installation is going on, right? So we can't keep quiet. So simply I'm showing you some basic stuffs. So let's go and meantime give IP address to our ESXi boxes. So this is first time I'm accessing my console. So the password will be your VMware, type F2. So your user password is one time VMware. You are inside of this configure network adapter. Only one adapter is enough. VLAN. What is your VLAN? Your lab number. Management VLAN is your lab number 32. Your IP address is, just go to static and hit tab, then 192.168 32.101, okay, /24 192.168.32.1. This one we have created, right? If one is there, then only DNS will work. Otherwise, if you don't have SVI, then your DNS will not work. So for you guys, SVI I'm going to create it. Go to IPv4, disable it, go to DNS, give your DNS 192.168.1.51. Okay, alternate you can give public one. And what will be your host name? Lab 32 ESX I1. Correct?
No, you missed type
You
S there.
1.11
S
DNS.
alphabet. And
Yes.
DNS should be 1.11. Primary DNS server.
Oh, why am missing this one? Okay, fine. DNS suffix clouds networking.in. Okay, and then escape, so it will get restarted. Yes. Okay, similar to this 31, I'm going to what I'm doing, guys. Now I have installed operating system on top of this, and I'm assigning IP address as 101, and here also 102. Fine. In parallel, our vCenter installation is going on. If you want to see our vCenter installation, click here. You'll see it. Okay, it's going on. Now let's go to your ESX2. Click there. You'll see it's running with default IP. Type F2 VMware. Okay. Then go to configure management, adapter. Okay. VLAN 32, IP address 192.168.32.102/24. Okay. IPv6 we don't want. DNS will be 192.168.1.11, 8.8.8, and lab 32 ESXi 2. Okay. Custom DNS suffix. So there is a problem, guys. I guess it's
So
not.
suffix should be cloudsnetworking.in.
Yeah, I'm giving that only.
Okay.
It's ESXi1 and 2, correct? Yeah, I'm giving cloudsnetworking.in only. Okay, labs networking. So okay, clouds. Thank you for correction. Hit enter, escape, and say yes. Go to your first one and make sure that you have not done any mistake. VMware one. Okay. So I did one mistake here, right? I want to check if it's lab networking or clouds networking. So once you are done, you should be able to ping your devices. 192.168.32.101 pinging. If your DNS is configured, then only it will ping. It's not configured. Okay, so there is a specific reason. Any idea, guys? Because these devices are not configured as a trunk. Okay, purposefully I have kept it. Why? Because you should know when you are doing any troubleshooting in your life, in your software defined networking career, you should know that any virtual machine which is not tagged with proper VLAN will not work. Okay, so this 32 1 and 2, if I take you to the paint, then these interface should be configured in trunk port group. Where it's configured, by default all virtual machines are configured under default port group. Okay, so let's go ahead and edit it, and from here select any trunk value. So generally I'll go for trunk 1 and 2. This looks great. There is no difference between trunk and true 1 and 2 configuration. That looks only for good, means that looks only caption chain is there. Inside of this they are carrying 4000 VLANs. So here I configured 1. Make sure that it's completed. If it's showing any error, then that is not, change is not done. I'll go to next. I'll configure it. Trunk 1, trunk 2. Okay, so what we did now, guys, we configured trunk 1 and 2, and now let's see if we can ping it. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. Even meantime, you can see your stage 1 is successful. Okay, let's come back here. Let's try to ping it. You'll be able to ping it. Okay, 101 is pinging. Why it has taken much time? Any idea, guys?
For resolving the entry.
Initial time it will take time, right? ARP resolution and all. So ESXIs are reachable. Now let's try to continue this one. So your stage, proceed with stage 2. So how will proceed? I say okay, continue. So it says yes, let's go ahead and proceed with the stage 2. Okay, now we are at stage 2. Click next. So it will say that where you want to synchronize the time. So give them the NTP server 192.168. Your DNS is nothing but your NTP server. Okay, if you miss this, Then if there is a problem in your timing, then it will NSXT will not work properly. Okay, SSH towards that vCenter VM I'm enabling. Okay, so NTP server, DHCP server, AD server, okay, all are same 1.11. Let's go ahead and click next. So one guy is traveling and that lady has not joined. Two guys are missing. Okay. So see, you are a single sign-on domain. So by default, it's vspare.local. If you continue as a blank, then your username will be administrator@vspare.local. If you want to change it with your organization, then you can go ahead and give clouds networking.in. If you don't keep it, if Mubin's lab is troubleshooted by Salahuddin, then he don't know what will be the username. So always keep this, stick to this one, cloudsnetworking.in, administrator@cloudsnetworking.in. What will be your password? So guys, without any miss, always use VMware 1 two time for vCenter because that requires complex password. If you have your any SSO domain configured in organization, you can give the information here as well. So let's go ahead and create it. Don't join anything with VMware. This is the short summary of your stage 2. Finish it. It says that you'll not be able to stop or pause. I say okay. Let's go ahead. So what's happening, guys? Now your vCenter installation is going on. You are done with your ESXi 1 and 2, and even I configured the VLAN here, VLAN 32. Okay, that's the reason you are able to access the DNS server, which is there in VLAN 10. Okay, 1.11. So these servers and vCenter will go for this 11 for DNS resolution. The server which I am running script on, that is having IP address of 1.51. So by sitting on 1.51, I am installing vCenter on my physical server 107. Okay, let's come back. So should we try accessing the lab 32 ESXi 1 and 2? Let's go ahead and try. Let's go ahead and HTTPS to it. And let's see if it works or not. It's working. So I have given one time password only, root and VMware one time. It's accessible. Do you see it? This is your vCenter 1 and 2. It's not using any CPU. It's using this much of 16 GB of RAM and all these things. So guys, if you want to increase the RAM, obviously you should increase the RAM because I am going to allow you to use 32 GB. Why 32 GB? Because NSX requires that. Okay, so let's go ahead and shut down these two ESXi and upgrade the RAM to 32 GB. Okay, till time we complete our vCenter installation. In next class, we are going to configure the vCenter. In today's class, we are going to complete the installation. Any question? Vikas?
No, no question from my side.
You usually install vCenter and ESXi, right?
Yes, yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah, for network engineers, we never did in our past. Have you installed
Okay.
Mubin?
No, sir.
Okay, so this is first time you will be installing. Make sure that you are following all the steps, including first main criteria is DNSMP. Okay, so I'm going to shut down these two devices, and from current RAM to I'm going to upgrade it to 32 GB. Okay,
Sabir, I have a quick question. How can we uninstall this vCenter? So, with the by using the same setup, we can uninstall that.
vCenter is a virtual machine. You can
Hmm.
delete the virtual machine. Right click it and delete from disk. As of now,
No, no,
it's
no,
grayed out because it's in on state. Yeah.
no. Master vCenter, we don't have access to this master vCenter, right?
Now you will have access to Master vCenter. Generally,
Uh,
I ask you to avoid that, but
mhm.
here in Lab Master, I have given you your own username, Master
Okay.
Console, and this one. This is having same privilege, but whatever you are doing wrong, I'll come to know easily that this mistake is done by any candidate, not by me. And in protections wise, if you talk about, then my vCenter backup is happening always. So even if I lose something, then I'll go ahead and restore it. But why you are burdening me, right?
Okay. So with the help of this master vCenter, we can means destroy or install vCenter, right?
Yeah. If something goes wrong, then what happened? Have you done VMware course?
No.
Official VMware course?
Yeah, I completed
if
official
if
VMware.
you if something goes wrong, then you will request to the trainer will request to the lab
Hmm.
admin will delete this reset, correct?
Right.
So now I'm giving you same opportunity, you are the admin, you can go ahead and do it, fine. Even VMware is also doing in such way, okay. VMware will only give visibility of these two ESXi and this is vCenter, that's it. You don't care that you knows all the flow. Okay. Anyway, come back here. uh, while running the your virtual machine, you won't be able to modify CPU and RAM. However, you can add the hard disk, you can modify the adapters. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll set it down. So there are 6 ways of setting down. One is the way we do the unplug the power, that is reset and power off. And we also do manual power on, right? So this is power on. If you want to do it gracefully, you can do it. Shut down. If you do shut down, then it will do gracefully. What is gracefully? It follow all the process. Just go ahead and check here. See, now I'm shutting down this device. Okay. So you'll see that see it's shutting down in sequence. Okay. So your both the devices are in shutdown state. I'll go ahead and upgrade it from 16 GB to what? 32 GB. Everyone should go for 32 GB. So guys, in vCenter, there is one option that you can reserve that for your VM. Don't do any reservation. What do you mean by reservation? That 32 GB is always yours. You are claiming it. Okay. So this is maximum 32 GB you can claim. Don't put in reservation. Okay. So I'll go ahead and say yes. So it says that there is a problem. Okay. So your configuration is not taken over. So refresh the page. Simultaneously, you should not do it. Go again back to this one. Then again it's 32, 16 only, right? Make it 32. Now make sure that it's completed successfully. See, you can also see it here as well. And then boot it up. Go to the first one, do the same thing, make it 32. If you want to change CPU RAM, you can also do, but don't go for it, it's not required. Okay. So what I did to both of my ESXi, I did it. Okay. And you can power it on as well. Also have a look on your vCenter. Your vCenter installation is going on. Any question, guys? Today, how many hours we completed? 2.5, right? Generally, our class is demands for 3 hours, but sometime we'll go for 2.5 hours or 3 hours. Okay. Any question, guys? Fazal?
No question.
Okay. So what I'm expecting you guys, you can ask me for lab access anytime. You can request on group. I'll go ahead and boot that lab for you. So there will be 8 devices. So if one person, suppose Pradeep is doing lab, so for him on two I'm using vCenter on my management purpose, and he only needs one device. Suppose he's using third server. So why to boot all 5? So what I'll do is for Pradeep, I'll boot 2 and 3 only. If same time Mubin also asks his resources are there on 4, I'll again turn on 4. If I keep all of them on, then there is a no use. And this lab is at my home only. Anytime I can power on and power off. So don't worry. Whoever wants lab, simply you can go ahead and request me the lab that at this point of time I need lab 30 or 1 hour before. I'll boot it up. You'll get this RDP access and then you can enjoy. Okay. And you'll have all the software saved on this folder. If you see, there is a folder in C drive. You can see clouds networking. For now, only I have introduced you to vCenter folder. Go inside of vCenter folder, and from UI 32, you can run this installer. Okay, and always use 106 and 107 for installation. Later, I am going to do the vMotion. I'll move your resources to other devices as well. So you'll not know, come to know about that. Any question, guys? Okay.
Sabir, please destroy my vCenter.
When you
Which I
created?
just now.
Oh,
Lab
very good.
24.
Okay, so what is your lab number?
24. So you can find that, yeah, here.
So what is the problem with this one? Any idea?
Still stage 1 is going on.
See, you created on 107.
Hmm.
Let's see data center. I told don't create it on LUN.
Oh,
What is
I don't know.
LUN? See, LUN is something remote storage. So this 51 server, there is a one server called as 51. Okay. So actually it's saving there. So I told you that there is a server management server. So actually your vCenter is not installed inside of ESXi hard disk. It's getting installed on remote hard disk. So our
Oh.
okay, so that's the reason it's low. So
Okay.
I installed those hard disks there. So there is a problem. So
You can
solution
destroy.
is, yeah, we can, let's go ahead and destroy it. So how
Yeah.
to destroy it? You can go to your vCenter, okay, and then first set it down,
Yeah.
okay, power
Power
off.
off.
If it's not getting power off, then I'll do the hard power off, that is called as hard stop, okay. Do the refresh multiple time. So it says that first you have to answer my question. I told okay, and in middle of this you have to shut down, okay.
Okay, hard stop. Okay.
Yeah. Now I have to delete it. How to delete it? Right click and remove it from. If you
Delete
leave
from there.
it alone, then it will be there only. Okay. So I'm deleting it. So see, it's deleted. And why
Okay.
it's inaccessible, guys? Any idea? Inaccessible means this hard disk is not available. So you can see it, it's there on LUN A. So if I go ahead and refresh my storage, then all those LUNs will be available. So what is LUN and all that I will take cover one by one. Don't worry. Okay. Why I'm refreshing it in production? It's not required. Okay. You can see that sometime it will come in this one. Okay. So next time use LAN. Okay. Local. Whoever is having local, those are, and always prefer to use NVMe only because these are the high performance SSDs. And the most high performance is Samsung. The 8th I have not booted purposefully. That's the reason it's inaccessible. Okay, guys, come back to vCenter. Your vCenter is successfully installed and you can log in. What is username? Any idea?
Administrator at Clouds Networking.
Administrator at the rate.
Clouds Networking.
Local vSphere something, I believe.
Yeah, cloudsnetworking.in, and this is your vCenter. So first time what we'll do today, we'll end our lab once I map on this vCenter these two ESXIs. Okay. So I'm expecting you guys to complete it this in ongoing week. Okay. So this is my first time installation in vCenter. So don't go for this one. I'll also give you key and all these things. So where you will get key, there is a link. where is the link? Okay, let me check where is the link if such problem comes in. Okay, first let me create, this is your vCenter, nothing is created. So first you have to create your data center. So this is my India data center. Okay, or you can simply say your clouds networking data center. And if it's your clouds networking, then you should have cluster. What is cluster? In your clouds networking is one of your company, in that you can have production cluster or production group. Okay, so that is your
Cluster is a
cluster.
group of EXXI
Correct.
where we manage HA and DRS feature.
Correct. So I have not introduced DRS and HA yet. I'll introduce when time comes. Okay, guys. So this is lab 32 cluster I'm going to create. Next, and then finish. Yeah. Thanks for explanation. So this is your vCenter. Inside of vCenter, you have a company called as Clouds Networking, and this is your lab 32. Inside, inside of this lab 32, if you see summary page, you don't have zero CPU, zero memory, because you have not mapped any ESXi here. How to map it? Right click, add host. What is your host number? Lab 32 ESXi 101. Okay, username is root, and you have,
ESXi 1, not 101. 1 and 2.
अरे क्या बात है आज. Yeah, really good. You're having fully concentrated here. Okay, yeah, I'm making mistakes, but anyway, those are getting corrected by our guy. Okay, so if you want to give password separately, you can also give, or you can use this same credential. So what will happen? ESXi1 and 2, it will use credential, and it will try to add it into vCenter. So it's hitting to the device, it's giving thumbprint, make sure that it is the one which you want. Okay, go next and finish. Now you'll see your devices are here. Instead of individually logging on to ESXi1 and 2, you can see it from here. So initially it will take time 1 minute, and now you can see it. So now they are outside of your cluster. Now they are in maintenance mode. Why they are in maintenance mode? In maintenance mode, they will not accept any load. Why they are in maintenance mode? In maintenance mode, they will not harm anything to your cluster. All of a sudden, if you added something and if he malfunctions something, then it will create problem to your other servers. That's the reason it's in maintenance mode. Go ahead and exit it. So again, I'll let me explain what is maintenance mode. Suppose you have ESXi 3 and ESXi 4. So you have something activity on 4. So what you'll do, you'll move these all virtual machine to other host. If you are moving, and then if you offload all the workload on this third, fourth ESXi, and then you can uh, do put it into maintenance mode. You can set it down, you can do whatever you want. The performance will not be degraded here. If you do it live, then it will jumble, right? So later you will come to know what jumbling and what is vMotion and DRS, not now. So this is the first time I have, I'm moving it out of maintenance mode, and these are your ESXi. By sitting here, you will come to know that the load of your is ESXi 1 and 2. By sitting here, you can monitor your ESXi. By sitting on vCenter, you can configure your ESXi. By sitting here, you can see your VMs. You can create VMs. You can also manage the data store, networks, updates. So this is the beauty of vCenter. Any question, guys? So I think I'm done today. Right? So guys, I'm done for today. Any question? So tomorrow we'll see further configuration, how to create VM, how to call the storage, how to have the data store, how to create virtual machine, how to create network, how to create switch, how to create folders and all. So our vCenter will again take 1 more week. So once you guys are familiar with vCenter, then we'll move for NSX. Guys, any question? Or should I stop recording? Okay?
Not for today.
Okay. Yeah. So for some guys, yeah, I understand that vCenter you knows, but is for Vikas and Pradeep, right? Okay, I'm stopping it.